G'day, I'm Charlie Pryde and welcome to our YouTube channel, Pride of the Villages. Well, obviously Jennifer isn't here with me today. She's actually working, which gave me the opportunity to go ahead and do this video on what I titled Living with Gators. Now, I am not an expert on alligators, but in my video I do use the information provided by the experts here in Florida. I, however, do have an appreciation for alligators, having lived here for 16 years and fishing and kayaking in their habitat. So if you are new to Florida, have not lived with gators in the past, then hopefully you'll find this video informative. It is wintertime here in the Villages, and in a recent Community Development District Weekly Bulletin, residents were reminded of the presence of alligators in the Villages. Now, the Villages is not unique in this aspect, as this naturalist explains.
And if you're visiting here in Florida, just assume every waterway in Florida does have an alligator in it. All they need is a water depth of 1 foot to survive it.
When we lived in Tampa for 14 years, there were gators in the retention ponds of that master plan community. And in our observation, gators are certainly more visible in the wintertime, and we believe there are 2 contributing factors. Number 1 is that there is less water habitat during the winter dry season. Lake and creek water levels shrink due to the lack of rain. Retention pond levels will also drop significantly, and in some cases ponds will actually dry up. As an example of the different seasons, this was the Hog-Eye Nature Preserve in the village of Marsh Bend after our rainy period this summer, and this is the preserve today. So less habitat and more gators congregated in the limited bodies of water. This is a scene from a video we shot at a location north of the Villages, which shows how concentrated water holes can become with gators in the winter. Secondly, since gators are cold-blooded reptiles and they have to heat their bodies in the sun, you will see more on the banks of the ponds during the winter daylight activities, golfing, walking, and biking. These are the gators we saw just on one 30-minute bike ride around our villages. Most of the gators we see are relatively small, between 3 and 6 feet in length, but some residing here get much bigger. Our house backs up to a retention pond, and gators will come and go most of the year. Recently, this guy has been hanging around, which I would estimate to be around 8 to 9 feet. We named him Wally after their cartoon I remember as a kid. We believe Wally moves between the retention ponds in the area, as we will not see him for several days sometimes. Gators will move over land, going from one water hole to another. But the Villages reminds us that gators will use the pipes of the stormwater system to move through the area as well. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is the state's authority on preventing wildlife conflicts with humans, and is also the state's law enforcement arm when it comes to rules and regulations governing wildlife. The FWC, as it is known, educates the public on living with alligators and crocodiles in Florida. Florida does have crocodiles, but they are further south in the Everglades and the Keys. So there are 3 rules the FWC asks us to follow in reference to alligators. Number 1 is never feed an alligator and keep your distance if you do see one. Alligators will naturally eat fish, birds, snakes, turtles, and small mammals. We watched Wally one day catch this very large soft-shelled turtle. It was not a good day for the turtle. Issues do arise when gators are fed by humans, as they then associate humans with food. That was the case with Larry. Larry was an 11-foot, 700-pound gator that roamed the ponds around Brownwood Paddock Square. People fed Larry, and Larry ended up being declared a nuisance alligator and had to be removed. I will let this young, energetic lady tell you what happened to Larry.
Where is Larry? Hey guys, it's me, Savannah, and it's time for the next vlog. And this vlog is going to be all about Larry the alligator. Now, if you're not from Florida or you're watching from around the world, and I know a lot of you are, and we love you for that, Larry the alligator is a super famous alligator. He has his own Facebook. He's had several viral videos. He's a gigantic 11-foot wild alligator that used to live at a place called the Villages. Well, Larry got a little bit too comfortable with people and was getting a little bit too close. The village is called FWC, and we love the Florida Wildlife Commission because they keep us safe from the wildlife and they keep the wildlife safe from us. The most important thing. Anyways, FWC called in a trapper, and the trapper just happened to be a friend of ours, and he happened to be participating in our Gatorland Global Conservation Program. So the trapper brought Larry right here to us, and Larry lives here now, so help us welcome by checking that like button, the newest addition to the Gatorland family. Meet Larry!
Welcome, Larry. Welcome, Larry. Welcome home.
Now, Larry is living a comfortable lifestyle at Gatorland in Orlando. Gatorland is like a retirement village for alligators and has some great amenities. And you can follow Larry's lifestyle on his Facebook page. Larry, however, is a very fortunate alligator in that he was relocated. As the Villages reminds us, nuisance gators are typically removed, not relocated. Removal means that a licensed trapper is issued a permit to remove and harvest the gator. The trapper is paid a $30 fee by the state, and the trapper is allowed to sell the meat and hide, which goes to restaurants and manufacturers. The FWC estimates the gator population in Florida is 1.3 million, spread throughout the 67 counties. Of that, there were 17,765 nuisance gator complaints last year, with 14,500 permits issued and 7,789 gators harvested. Trappers are successful about 55% of the time in actually locating and removing the gators. The second tip FWC has is don't swim outside of posted swimming areas or in waters inhabited by large gators, and certainly don't swim at night when gators are most active. Now, this may seem like common sense, but there has been some attacks which just have you scratching your head. Overall, an alligator attack is very rare. From 1948 to 2019, only 413 unprovoked attacks have occurred in Florida. Unfortunately, 25 resulting in human fatalities. The likelihood of a resident being seriously injured during an unprovoked attack is roughly 1 in 3.1 million. The third safety tip from the FWC is keep pets on a leash and at least 10 feet away from the water's edge. Dogs and cats are similar in size to natural prey of alligators. Don't allow pets to swim, exercise, or drink in or near waters that contain gators. Now, gators may seem to be lazy, especially when basking in the sun, but they are extremely fast in and out of the water. The Villages does a good job ensuring paved trails are well away from the edge of the ponds. So in review for this video, there are 3 simple rules from the FWC to coexist with gators. Number 1 is never feed an alligator, as it is both illegal and dangerous. Only swim during the day and in designated areas. And lastly, keep your pets away from the water's edge. So ensure to stay to the paved trails when walking your pets around the Villages. So that was the video, Living with Gators. And hopefully if you're new to Florida and the Villages, you found it informative. And until the next video, have a great day and we'll see you then.